All right, so at this point, we are in our week one. We've got the Google Slides. We've got some sort of in-class activity that the students are going to do in groups. And then in this case, they're going to submit something, either a Google Doc or a PDF. Now it's time in my syllabus. I'm going to scroll down to week one, and there it is. So far we've done the kind of like the in-class stuff. Now it's time for me to start getting the students to do stuff at home for homework on their own time. Okay, so I'm going to begin with this idea of the students reading some sort of article. So I'm going to go find my week one. So I got a couple of articles that I want my students to read. But here's the problem. We want to hold our students accountable. We want them to read it and we want them to reflect on it. We want them to do something so that we kind of have a sense that they actually read the article. So I'm going to show you two different ways to kind of ensure that your students are indeed reading the articles. So first way, so let's do sample reading one. So I've got this article. Here it is. It's all about llamas. And they're supposed to read it, and then they're going to reflect on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to get the link to that article, and I'm going to copy that link. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my eLearn week one, and I'm going to click turn editing on. And I'm going to add an activity. And what I'm going to do, one way to do it is using the assignment tool. And then a second way to do it is using the lesson tool. So I'm going to star that lesson so that it shows up on my starred panel right here. Okay, so the first way is using the assignment tool. So I'm going to click on assignment. Oh, let's call this read and reflect article 1. Okay, so there it is. So here, because this is an assignment, I need to give it some sort of, my students some sort of direction. So step 1, download and read this article. And then step 2, in the space below, write reflection on this article. Good enough, right? Hopefully you will come up with a better prompt. All right, and so I need this article, and I'm going to paste in the link that I grabbed from my Google Drive right here, down here. And of course, because I want that link to be active, I'm going to highlight it. And you didn't see what I did. I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to click on the link tool. I'm going to paste the link in there and click open in new window. And there it is. There is my set of directions. Now, because this is an assignment, I need to decide what kind of submission are the students going to do. In this case, I want them to do an online text, and they're going to enter the information directly in eLearn. Okay, so then I'm going to do feedback types, and I'm going to turn off annotate PDF because they are going to submit it online directly. And then submission settings, I'm going to leave all of that as is. Group submissions, I'm going to leave it all as is. Notifications, I'm going to leave it at the default. I'm going to choose a grade. Oh, let's say my reading reflection is going to be 4 points. I don't know why I chose that. And I'm going to leave everything else as is. I'm going to save and return to course, turn off editing. So let's take a look at what this is going to look like from a student point of view. So I'm going to pull over my student page, and I need to refresh my screen. And here I am as a student. The student will open it up, download and read this article. I don't know what it's going to look like, so I'm going to click on it, and there it is. It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking, and while it's thinking, then they're going to add their submission. Let's see, is it showing up? It's still thinking. I'll give it time to think. I'm going to add submission. And right here is where the student will provide her reflection. All right, right there. And I don't like what I just did, so let's delete all that. There. Nice. And let's make it a little bit longer. Boom, there. All right, and then she's going to submit, I don't know, whatever it said, save or edit, add submission, whatever it said. Now, let's see, did it ever download? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the student would have read the article. There's the article. Then the student reflected on it, and now the student knows that she wrote 90 words. If she wants to, she can kind of see what she wrote, and she knows she's waiting for it to be graded. So what is this going to look like from the teacher point of view? So I'm going to get out of there, and let's go back as the teacher. And then I'm going to go right here. There's the read and reflect article 1, and I can see that one student has submitted it. I'm going to click the grade, and there it is. Remember the filtering tool right here. I can choose filter to show me only the assignments that require grading, or I can do no filter, and that'll show me all of my students. And then all I need to do is read what the student wrote for her reflection, give her score, give feedback if I want. Here is the teacher feedback if needed. All right. There's my teacher feedback, and then all I have to do is either hit Save Changes or save and show the next available student. In either case, the students are going to be notified that they got a grade. And then I could go back and I can now see that no assignments need grading because that student received her grade. All right, so now going back to the student side, what is that going to look like from the student's point of view? So the student can click on Read and Reflect. The student can see that the assignment has been graded. She can go down here and see that the feedback is right here. Here's the grade, and here's the feedback that the teacher might have provided. And by the way, if the student wants to, she can click on the sprocket, click on her grades, and she can see week 1. She's going to go down all the way. Oh, there it is, week 1, and there is her grade. We're going to control how the order of the assignments show up, because it's showing up in the order of the way I created it in eLearn, not necessarily showing up in a way that makes sense. Like I want all of these grades to show up together on the report, on the gradebook. So I'll show you later in a later video how we organize that so that they all show up in an order that makes sense. So that's the first way where the students are going to use the assignment, where you as the teacher use the assignment tool for the students to read their article and reflect. The next video, I'm going to show how to have students read their article and then reflect using the lesson resource activity.